Indiana Jones and the Peril at Delphi is the first novel in the Indiana Jones Expanded Universe, or Expanded Adventures, as it is officially called. It was written by Rob MacGregor, who was also responsible for the novelization of the film Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Let's talk a little bit about the story. In a short prologue set in 1920, we are introduced to Indiana Jones at college, along with his friend Jack Shannon and Indy's Professor Conrad, both of which will play a part in the plot later on. When the story begins in the present day, 1922, Jones studies linguistics and Greek archaeology in Paris. Although he shows great talent in linguistics, he begins to wonder if archaeology might not suit him better. Indy's professor Dorian Belcamus, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, she asks him to accompany her on a trip to Delphi in Greece to oversee the recovery of an archaeological find discovered recently in the wake of an earthquake in the region. Despite the warning from his friend Jack Shannon that something is wrong with Dorian, Indy goes on the trip because he has completely fallen for her, and a relationship soon develops between the two. Once they are in Delphi, there are conspiracies, a plot against the government, and a mysterious cult in search for the legendary Oracle of Delphi. And Indiana Jones realizes almost too late that his professor is only using him for her own plans. I really like this book, a lot better than I first expected. The story itself has a very good pace. The description of Greece is very good, very atmospheric, and the story of the Oracle and Delphi is told well, without being an exposition dump. Of course, there are also some great action moments. I do really like the story. But now for the characters. I really like Indiana Jones' character here. I can see the Indy from the movies in here, but he's a younger version of himself, still a little inexperienced, easier to fool by a woman, still has a lot to learn. I like how it functions as a prequel here, and Indy is thinking about getting more involved in archaeology, and this Delphi adventure just gives him the final push. Dorian is a fine female bad guy for this story. Of course, her concept is slightly reminiscent of Elsa from The Last Crusade, but to me she never came across as a copy. She really was her own character, and I did enjoy her in this story. With Jack Shannon we get a new character, a college friend of Indy, a musician with a criminal family. Jack is a good partner for this adventure, even though he comes back into the story quite late. So overall, The Peril at Delphi is a great Indiana Jones adventure that offers everything I wanted. An exciting plot, good action, good characters, nasty villains. I can absolutely recommend it to any Indiana Jones fan. And a little fun fact, the end of this story also already offers a glimpse of MacGregor's second book, Indiana Jones and the Dance of the Giants.